My research question was unveiling cultural schemas in multinational corporations' graphic design campaign strategies. What is cultural schema? Cultural schema is a theory that explains how people organize, process information about events and objects in their cultural environment. According to the theory, individuals rely on schemas to understand and make sense of the world around them. Douglas and Isherwood explain the concept of cultural schemas that's embedded in different societies and how this affects the way they perceive and understand the world around them, specifically about marketing, campaigns, and advertisement. Douglas and Isherwood explore how multinational corporations utilize these cultural schemas to allow their campaigns to resonate with their target audience. However, this paper was written over 10 years ago, with some recent conversations being made in 2020. What if individuals no longer value their culture the way we did in the past? How does cultural shame change the narrative of Douglas and Isherwood's conclusion? In graphic design, the use of terms epigenetic, cultural schema, and cultural shapes visual communication. Epigenetics metaphorically mirrors the malleability of design evolution, suggesting that environmental factors influence the development of visual styles and trends. Cultural schema, defined by cultural psychologists Marcus and Kitayama, explain that cultural schema contributes to the interpretation of symbols and aesthetics within a special cultural context. Graphic designers navigate and manipulate these cultural schemas, drawing on shared symbols and visual language to convey meaning effectively. In addition, the cultural context itself becomes a canvas for design, influencing the visual narrative through inherent cultural traits and adaptive responsive societal changes. Cultural theories like Hall's highlight context and low context cultures offers a lens to understand the nuances of communication through design, emphasizing the importance of cultural background in shaping design aesthetics. But do individuals value their culture? This is what I wanted to investigate within my project Cultura. This project will be broken down in two main parts: how others view their culture and how I view my own. In part 1, I designed and printed 5 posters that were placed around Cardiff Met Llandaff campus. According to Wagner, cultural schemas are heterogeneous, systemic, and changing patterns of activity mediated by both individuals and group processes, as well as by material objects. Furthermore, any society must be conceptualized in time, existing in a state of tension between stability and change, conservation and construction. This means that Cardiff Met Llandaff campus is a form of society/group, so by placing these posters around this area, there is still a consistent cultural schema shared by the people that will be taking part. In addition, they are all a part of the university. It did not matter if it wasn't just students. I wanted anyone within the university to take part. Although there were positive results, a question arose. What if the participants don't know what culture means, potentially misconstruing the question, affecting the results? This led to me creating an online questionnaire that allowed people to go into more depth within their answers. The responses collected from the investigation addressing the importance of culture reflect a rich tapestry of perspectives, experiences, and emotions. While there is no singular consensus, the diversity of opinions underscores the multifaceted nature of cultural identity and its significance in shaping individuals' lives. Many respondents expressed pride in their cultural heritage, highlighting the sense of belonging, tradition, and shared values it provides. For some, culture serves as a source of strength, identity, and community connection. Otherwise, emphasize the importance of cultural awareness and appreciation, fostering inclusivity, mutual respect within diverse societies. However, alongside expressions of pride, there were also instances of uncertainty, confusion, and criticism regarding cultural identity. Some individuals battle with questions of belonging, feeling disconnected or doubtful towards their cultural heritage. Others raise concern that cultural stereotypes, appropriation, and the potential for cultural misunderstanding in advertising and media representation. Although the responses underscore the complexity and fluidity of cultural identity, which can be influenced by a myriad of factors, including ethnicity, upbringing, environment, and personal experience, while culture plays a pivotal role in shaping individuals' values, behaviours, and sense of belonging, it is essential to recognise and respect the diversity of perspectives and experiences within society. In conclusion, the responses highlighted the importance of promoting cultural awareness, dialogue, and understanding in fostering a more inclusive and equitable world. Embracing cultural diversity and celebrating the richness of human experience are essential to steps towards building a more harmonious and interconnected global community. The second part of my project was my documentary. I explore my struggles as a non-native in the UK and delve into my cultural background, where various psychological concepts play a vital role in shaping my narrative. Culture is a mixture of beliefs, customs, and behaviours shared by a group and forms the base against which my experience unfolds. Cultural schemas, the mental framework through which I interpret my world, influence my perceptions, reactions, and interactions with British society. Cross-cultural psychology helps me examine the intersections and disparities between my native culture and the host culture, shedding light on the challenges I encountered and the adaptations I underwent. Epigenetics, the study of how environmental factors interact with genetic experience, informs my exploration of identity. Memories, both explicit and implicit, weave the threads of my narrative, encompassing episodic recollections of specific events and tacit knowledge acquired through lived experience. My documentary not only is a visual chronicle of my journey, but also a reflection on the intricate interplay between my psychology and cultural dynamics in the immigrant experience. A third of the population in the world migrate to another country each year. I found that it would be valuable to provide insight into what it's like to be an immigrant in another country and the cultural confusion one can experience. Do individuals value their culture is the question I started with. Through the creation of my book, insight into culture and the importance of culture has emerged. Through the interactions of the posters and the digital engagement of the questionnaire, I was able to reveal the complexities of culture. The results from the posters were shocking. They uncovered a lot of cultural shame and confusion amongst the community within Cardiff Met. The unexpected result is what led me to do an online questionnaire where I could get more in-depth answers other than yes or no. The posters shocked me because they challenged my preconceptions. After all, I wasn't expecting so many people to be ashamed of their culture. It showed the universal human nature of the experience of battling with one's cultural identity. The documentary provided a deeper look into cultural shame and the battle with identity as a foreigner, and allowed me to explore all these themes and understand the answer from the questionnaires and posters. Delving into my self-discovery highlighted cultural shame and my growth with my cultural perceptions and self-identity. It battled the papers I studied for my research proposal and extended essay, but also showed them that in the end it did matter, because even though I was ashamed of my culture, I battled to belong and blend into one, and found a cultural community that I belonged to. The creation of this investigation has broadened my understanding of culture, but also emphasised the significance of context in shaping individual interpretations. The diverse responses to quite simple questions highlighted the nature of culture and its complexities, and overall I did conclude that culture is valuable. The posters reflect the detailed research multinational corporations face in using culture in graphic design campaigns. The questionnaire highlights the extensive research needed when understanding communities' culture. The research needs to be extremely well done and ethically thought out when making graphic design strategies for multinational corporations. The documentary provided an even deeper examination of cultural shame and the struggles with identity, showing the depth required to understand cultural shame within corporation campaigns. This investigation not only helps with understanding culture, but also underlines the role of context in shaping individuals' understanding, essential for understanding cultural nuances in corporation graphic design strategies. In conclusion, my project serves as a testament to the intricate nature of culture, highlighting its dynamic and multifaceted essence, echoing the complexities inherent in multinational corporations' endeavours to navigate cultural schemas in graphic design campaigns. Even though everyone's definition of culture and their own culture was fairly different and even drastically different, that didn't matter because one thing was the same: culture is important. I came into this experimentation with a very black and white dictionary perception of culture and realised that that's not how people view culture. Culture is so intertwined with an individual's identity, and being that it felt silly to even question it. I examined my question that yes, culture is important. However, it highlighted the importance of having an open-minded perception of culture. As a graphic designer, I shouldn't think about design for a country, but for the people. An example is Dolce & Gabbana's advert. They used stereotypical aspects of two countries and combined them, thinking that they were bringing two countries together, but rather they just offended a lot of people from those cultures. That's the issue with a lot of marketing strategies used by graphic designers. It's superficial research used in campaigns for global markets. This is what I wanted my research to highlight. Due to the global reach of campaigns in today's markets, we must research and understand other cultures when designing. We are no longer marketing to one specific country where a lot of people will understand the issues with some culturally insensitive imagery being used. With such diverse communities, even just within Cardiff Met, we must understand how influential and easily accessed our work can be, so we need to be more ethical and well-researched designers.